Hey there guys, Stephen Mel here and welcome to the first video that's going to really explain to you about everything about finance and economics. So in this video I really want to start off with economics and explain why it's really important, and later on I can talk about finance. So I think the key thing about economics is really to understand that it's basically the foundation of the world. So financial principles, everything about finance is really based and derived on economics and how that all works. And it's a really important thing to understand because a lot of people don't place much importance about economics, but once you understand economics, you can basically understand how the world works. And you scientists out there, that's right, I said it, economics is important. Ooh, look at me, I'm a scientist, I wear glasses and I understand the world and particles and atoms. Actually, I'm not trying to be a dick here, science is pretty important, but so is economics. So before we really get into the awesome side of economics, we're going to go through the boring definition. So I saw it from Wikipedia, and it says that economics is a social science that tries to analyze the production, consumption, and the distribution of goods and services. Now I think talking about the fact that economics is a social science is really important because economics really just tries to find out what a rational person will do in a certain situation. So for example, let's say I'm a rational person and I love tomatoes. I can't get enough of my tomatoes, okay? And I walk out on the street and there's a gentleman selling 2 tomatoes for the price of 1. And economics would say, as me being a rational person and me loving tomatoes, I would definitely go out there and buy the 2 tomatoes for the price of 1 rather than buying the 1 tomato from the gypsy lady down the road for the price of 1. Now the assumption of people being rational is where economics kind of gets in a bit of a fight, because obviously in life you're going to go out there and there's a lot of irrational people, and that's why economics has a lot of theories, because it won't ever directly apply and directly be true to the population. Obviously on average it will be, because most people are rational, but you're always going to have those outliers that are just going to go crazy. So me being very good at drawing and all, I've actually drawn you up the most basic thing in economics, which is the supply and the demand curve. Pow! Alright, so over here, you've got the supply line, which is that line there, and that shows out how much supply there is in the economy. So let's say this is basically my life, okay? So, as I said before, there was a guy down the road selling tomatoes, and I love tomatoes. I actually hate them. But this is his supply of tomatoes, so how many tomatoes he has to sell. This line here is my demand, okay? So you could extrapolate to this to the whole economy, and this being the supply of all the tomatoes and the demand of all the population. Well, let's just put it to me, demand, crazy man down the road, supply. And let's say I've got $4, okay? I'm not really well off, but I've got $4, and I want to spend that all on tomatoes. And this basically shows you in the most simplest way, the more he charges, the less I want to buy. So for example, if he charges $3, I'm going to want to buy 1, because that's an expensive tomato. If he charges 2, I'm going to want 2 tomatoes. If he charges $1 per tomato, I'm going to want 3. And the equilibrium is where we're both satisfied with what's happening. So for example, he doesn't want to sell, he wants to sell 1 tomato for $3 because that gets him the most profit. But since I'm only going to buy 1, it's going to end up worse for both of us. But here, I want 2 tomatoes. He's selling them for $2, and that's where we're going to end up. That's where the supply and demand curves intersect. That's where we want to be. And that's it's called the invisible hand in the economy. And that basically shows it's the slow movements to push everything in the economy down to this equilibrium line. So for example, again, let's extrapolate it. So let's see, the supply is the supply of the whole economy, and the demand is the demand of the whole population for tomatoes. Where it intercepts here, this shows how much the supply is actually now produced and how much the demand actually wants to buy. And that's where you get no waste, because over here, you're overproducing, because I'm only going to buy 1. He's got 3 tomatoes. What's he going to do with the other 2? They're going to rot and die. And over here, I want more tomatoes than he wants to supply me. And again, that's the problem. So that's the most basic little thing about economics. Cool, so I hope this short little video has really just moved you from here, dipped your toe in the water, and then back again. I'm going to create a lot more that's going to bring you from, well, I suppose you're over here now, aren't you? From over here and I'm gonna make you understand what's happening, and then I'm gonna start doing finance videos. You can start understanding how banks work and all that kind of stuff. It's just really important stuff that everyone should know. A lot of people don't know. Don't find it boring. It's your life. It's your life. So that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next. Ooh, look at me. I understand molecules. Yeah, well, you don't understand money.